we're going to go ahead and get started here. So hello, everyone, and welcome to the American Family Insurance DreamBank, where we believe in the transformative power of dreams. I'm Jenna, and on behalf of DreamBank, we're thrilled to have you with us for today's event. For those who have attended our virtual or in-person events in the past, welcome back. For anyone that is joining us for the first time, I'd like to take a moment to introduce you to DreamBank. Here at American Family Insurance, life's better when you're under our roof because when you feel totally supported and protected, any dream is possible. That's why we created DreamBank, an inspirational community destination and virtual experience designed to help people pursue, achieve, and protect their dreams. And now, I'm thrilled to introduce you to our speaker, Kathi Burns. Kathi Burns, CPO, is a board-certified professional organizer, personal stylist, author, and speaker. Her mission for almost 2 decades has been to help smart, creative female entrepreneurs go from overwhelmed, indecisive, and disorganized to clear, automated systems and strategies that easily generate income. Kathi was lauded as a successful woman startup business by Good Morning America, and since then, her advice has been featured in Oprah Magazine, Martha Stewart Living, Better Homes and Gardens, Entrepreneur Magazine, and more. Please join me in welcoming Kathi. Thank you so much for being here, Kathi. The stage is yours.
Oh, thanks so much, Jenna. I am honored to have been invited by DreamBank and by the incredible Jenna Sticky here in to give this presentation. So I'm so happy you're all here. I'm so excited. Today, you're going to learn how to power up your productivity through the art of optimizing the space in your home and creating new habits. Now, we only have 30 minutes together, so I'm going to go quickly. And at the end, if you still need more information, I'm going to give you a way to get in touch and continue making progress. So let's get started. 300,000. The average home in a study by the LA Times found that the average home has 300,000 items. We all have too much stuff. Yeah, and we're losing it. Another research study found that we lose up to 9 items every day, or almost 200,000 items in a lifetime, right? 9 items every day. Our phones, our keys, our sunglasses, paperwork, maybe those computer files. How about that email? Put in chat if there's anything that you've lost already today. Maybe we've lost our minds. That's a joke. Keys. I love it, Nikki. You guys are getting real with me. Your mind. Yeah. It feels like you've lost your mind, right? It's a joke. You haven't really lost your mind, but you've lost control of your life and your home and possibly your business when it comes to clutter and disorganization. Have you thought about what you could actually do to improve the space inside your home, your workspace, and your head? You know, sometimes there's so many things we want to implement that we got caught up in limbo with too many decisions, right? Especially when you're surrounded by 300,000 items. While there's absolutely nothing wrong with taking a moment to make a decision, some studies suggest that waiting too long can negatively impact the quality of your decision making. Hey, okay, Tara, how did you lose your water bottle while refilling it? That is just silly. You silly girl. Now, look, it's not is it only hard to make a decision when your space is disorganized, but a cluttered home and environment can also lead to feelings of stress, anxiety, depression, disease, right? We waste time and we waste money buying duplicates when we already buy what we already own, but we just can't find it, right? Now, I don't know if you've thought about it, but time is the only thing we can't make more of. It's our most precious commodity. And when you're stuck in the decision-making process, you're losing precious time. And guess what? Once time's gone, it's gone forever. Yeah, I've lost the glasses on my head too, Kathi. Okay, so here's a stat for you. Excuse me. The typical executive wastes 150 hours a year searching for lost information. That's almost a month, right? So let's put it this way. Let's talk about money. If the person's earning $50K a year, that's a loss of almost $4,000 a year. Over the course of a lifetime, you'll spend a total of 3,680 hours or 153 days searching for misplaced items. So do you think it might actually pay to get organized? Maybe. So when you're surrounded by too much stuff, you're in overwhelm and you see the things are disorganized, right? You see the clutter, you see the mess, you see the files mislabeled in the weird places, I'm sure. You see the lack of any type of system to keep you organized. You see those 54,000 plus emails in your inbox. That was my client a couple of days ago. You see yourself trying to find a document that has important information that you need, but you can't remember how you saved it, where you saved it, or what you called it. And you spend 40 minutes looking for it. 40 minutes. 40 minutes you could be spending. How about creating a new program? How about talking to a hot lead? How about hanging out with friends, or better yet, spending time with your family? Or how about enjoying your favorite hobby, which I'll tell you about that in a few minutes. How about making more money? Anybody want to make more money? Yep. Say yes to that in chat if you do. And let's get real here for a second. You know you have a problem. You see it in the files on your computer, you see it in your inbox, you see it in your workspace, and you've tried, okay? You've tried to fix it. I know you have. You bought an app because that's why you're here, or you tried a system, or maybe you had a friend try to help you. You bought a book, you bought that Marie Kondo book, but it didn't quite spark joy. And all of that only served to make things worse because you organize on top of a level of disorganization. And that made a 7-layer cake of disorganization. And here's the thing, wherever you started was in the right place. So then you feel even more overwhelmed, and you're getting more overwhelmed every single day. You're wasting every single day, wasting more time, losing money, and the problem gets worse and worse and worse. Now, it doesn't have to be that way. I know this to be true because right before I was a pro organizer, it took 2 huge moving donation trucks to get the stuff away from my life when I was moving from Florida to California, and 3 yard sales on top of that, right? So way before that, though, let me step back further and talk about why I'm here doing what I'm doing. So a long, long time ago, I was a U.S. Coast Guard boat license captain, and I delivered yachts for a living. And I was living out of a duffel bag, and I was out to sea. And that's kind of where it all started for me. When I look back, I remember being out at sea, and I was in the middle of the Gulf Stream, and I was on watch, and I was thinking about everything in my apartment and realizing none of it made any sense at all. None of it meant anything to me, maybe like one thing, right? So I'd get back to shore and I'd purge. After that, I became a travel writer, and I was living out of a suitcase for 42 weeks a year. I was literally on the road traveling 42 weeks a year, living out of a suitcase. Again, I had the perspective to know that I didn't really need any of the stuff that I had back in my apartment, right? So then I'd get back and I'd purge everything. So at that point, I had no idea what a professional organizer was. And in fact, I don't think anybody did. It was about 20 years ago. That was way before Marie Kondo, or there's TV shows like Clean Sweep or Hoarders. Now, fast forward, I was at a prayer group and I met this woman. She was a homeopathic doctor, and she had some time off to heal herself because she had cancer. And we became fast friends, and I went to her house, and she was surrounded by all this stuff. And I'm like, girlfriend, you've got to get rid of some of this stuff. You got to have room to heal. So I started to help purge and get organized. And I was really good at it. And she said, you know what? You should become a professional organizer. And I'm like, what's that? She goes, you're really good at it. So boom, here I am, did it, done it. And I started a business as a professional organizer and image consultancy. Now, at the very beginning, the universe smiled on me because, as Jenna said, way back in the beginning, Good Morning America found me and featured me as a successful woman startup business. After that, of course, all the magazines and newspapers picked up all my tips and started promoting me, which was fantastic. And I also became one of the world's first board certified professional organizers. I was in the inaugural class of board professional organizers in the world, right? I passed a 4-hour exam. I had 1,500 hours of paid experience, and I continued taking CEUs to keep my accreditation. I now also help craft the questions and review the metrics for the newbies coming into town. Now, I'm not saying this to brag or anything, but I know if you're like me, you want to make sure that you're taking the advice of an expert. So enough about that. Today, I'm going to show you how to stop wasting time, stop wasting money, stop going nuts, and eliminate your overwhelm. You'll learn how to overcome any challenge when you're organized, because when you find things when you need them, you save time. When you know where things are, you stop buying duplicates and you stop wasting money. And when there's less clutter, you stop cluttering your headspace and you eliminate your feelings of overwhelm. It's a win, win, win. Talking about losing time and money, I often think of my client, Sarah. She told me this story that had happened to her the week before we met. She had just signed a loan for a new car and she was late for the appointment to sell her old car at the DMV. She frantically searched for her title and couldn't find it anywhere in her apartment and spent 2 hours. She was freaked out. So what she did, she called her brother who lived by the DMV and sweet talked him into going to the guy to get him to wait till she found the title and get him to stay at the DMV till she got there. Okay. So she was stressed out. She almost lost the sale. And later, so she found her title, she ran, she signed the title and her brother went away. But then what happened was a couple things. She was late for work. And then for months, her brother harangued her for being a disorganized boo-boo head, right? Basically. So she had all that and more just for not being able to find her title. So you see how clutter costs more than money. It also costs time and it can emotionally hold you captive, which it is doing with her brother probably still, although she hired me. So now she's like on the straight and narrow. Now, here's the thing. You can invent another minute or even a second of time, right? We only get 86,400 seconds a day. We only get 168 hours a week, and we only get 52 weeks a year. Now, some people do different things with these seconds in time. And those people who pay attention to time as it goes by always make faster decisions, and which helps them become more productive, right? So here's the thing. Productivity, which is what we're talking about, is all about what you do. Losing things in the muck of your mess, including your minds, means that you're not going to be very productive. And what you do is all about your focus, right? It's hard to focus when you're surrounded by clutter and piles. So the question is, what are you focused on? Time, space, and focus is hard to come by unless you intentionally create space, right? So I'm sure you're asking, okay, Kath, enough's enough. Just how do I go about doing this? So I want you to pay close attention to this right now and focus in, okay? Focus in, you guys. This is the most important thing and the best tip you're ever going to get from a pro organizer. Now, when my clients begin organizing and clearing to create a new life, I actively listen to what they say and how they say it. So as you begin clearing your space, it pays for you to listen to your self-talk, okay? Are you speaking in the past, present, or future? Number one, past, present, or future. For instance, if you hear yourself saying, I used to love it, I used it all the time, it was great when I got it. Guess what? You're stuck in the past. Out of there. You say, yes, I love this. It helps me feel better. I get more done every day. It makes my life so much easier. Then you're in the present moment and it serves you right now. Or I love this. It just makes me happy looking at it. It's a keeper. Now, if you hear yourself saying, well, I might need it someday, or as what happened last week, my client saying, well, my kids might want it, or my kids might need it, I have to hold on to it, then guess what? You're in fear and you're in future. And the item is definitely not serving you or your kids right now. So let it go. Okay? This is important. So listen to your self-talk. And when you let go, you're paying your good forward. When you donate it to your local charity, the charity makes money. The money goes to help their cause, serve their clients better, right? The people who intake your stuff get paid to intake it. And the people who buy your stuff will benefit from getting stuff they might not have been able to afford. And it's a win, win, win. And I guarantee you this, whatever you need later will come back to you times 10. The universe just works like that. Yeah. So let's talk about decluttering. When you first get started, your letting go muscle and decision-making skills might be a little bit rusty. I always say your letting go muscles are atrophied, right? You're not powerful. You're like, oh, I got to hold on, right? So decluttering strengthens your decision-making skills. And a double process happens when you declutter. Not only are you allowing yourselves to let go of your physical objects, you're also choosing to let go of your shoulds. Whether that sense of obligation to others is self-imposed, and I'm sure you've heard the phrase, it never helps to should yourself. So the way to stop wasting time is to get better at making faster decisions. And you can do this by monitoring your self-talk as you begin to purge. So let's talk about the steps it takes to get organized and clear your space in order to become more productive. Because successful organizing projects will always follow this 8-step process. Okay. Step 1, you want to gather all the items together that you want to get organized, right? Get them all together and gather them into one place. After that, you're going to group them into like piles, right? For instance, you've gathered all your writing devices, your pens, pencils, markers, highlighters, okay? You're going to actually separate them into your groups. That way you'll see, you might have like 5 whiteboard highlighters and you don't even have a whiteboard anymore. So it's going to help you make decisions when you group, okay? After that, you're going to be sorting. And you're going to decide how many of each item you actually own and how many of each item do you really need, okay? You're going to be amazed at how you manage to accumulate so many whiteboard markers when you don't own the whiteboard. And you're going to divide your items into keep, donate, or toss, right? Or like my client last week, when we organized her, she had 5 boxes of staples and we never did find her stapler, right? So this is what happens. So you're going to sort, okay? You're going to sort and figure it out. Now, after you sort, you're going to purge. And this is really the most important steps, right? You're going to get rid of those items. Don't put them in your garage, put them in your car to go to your donation charity, okay? So get rid of the things that you don't need, use, or love, right? And as you begin to purge, you're going to see all this extra space opening up in your life, and you're actually going to get jazzed. So the more you can let go of, the more energy you're going to have, the more time you're going to have, and you're going to get excited about it. Step 5 is contain. Now, I want to step back at this. I can't tell you how many of my clients buy containers before they even know what they want to contain. So don't buy containers until you've already gone to step 4 and you know what it is you want to store, right? So what happens with these clients, they end up with all these containers and it ends up being clutter because what they want to store doesn't fit in the containers that they bought in advance, right? They kind of jump started because I know we love containers, especially women. We love our containers. Stop. Don't buy containers so you know what you want to contain. Now, once you do know how much it is and how large of a collection it is, then and only then can you buy containers. Has anybody done this? Anybody bought containers before you knew what you had to contain? I know, say yes in chat. I know you do. I know. Especially us girls, we like that. Yes, of course. Lori, Jamie, Leah, Margaret. Yeah. Oh, Des, you're guilty. Okay. Tracy, yeah, James, Virginia. I know everyone does it, but don't anymore. Now you know, okay? Don't buy containers so you know what you want to contain, okay? Agree? Thumbs up? Okay, good. Now, moving on to step 6. Step 6 means to label, okay? So now that things are contained, it really pays to label them. Now, especially if you're living with other people and you want this system to maintain, you got to label it or they're not going to know what to do. And also, it takes 4 to 6 weeks to create a habit and change your wily ways, right? So labeling is going to help solidify in your brain and in other people's brains what's supposed to be in that space. So labeling is a really great idea. Just label the container, okay? And it'll help you stay organized until you really get where you've decided things are going to live, okay? You saw a great pot pan organizers. Okay, Terry, good job. Good job. Don't buy yet. You don't know what you want to organize yet till you downsize your label and container collection. Okay, step 7. After you've grouped, sorted, and purged, contained, and labeled, now you're going to find the perfect home for your reduced collection, right? So where is it going to live? And this is where you want it to live probably forever because you don't want to have to go through this over and over and over. You want to create a home. But here's the thing, step 8 is critical, Step 8 is the most critical thing that happens. You have to create a yard. Okay. Has anybody heard that expression? You create a yard around your home. What that means is that you need space within that collection to grow. Because guess what, gang? We're all going to get more stuff. I mean, we all get more stuff every single time. We all accept every single day. So if you don't have space in your collection to add with something else, what happens if you don't have that yard around your home? It's going to blow out and your system's going to break. And all of that work that you did to get yourself into that area, it's going to blow out and it's going to be broken. And then once again, you're going to be back with too much stuff overflowing in your closets and cupboards and so on and so forth. Okay. So make sure that you have a yard, you have room to grow, because you will grow, even if you don't think that you will. Step 7 was label, LJ. Okay. So label your container. Okay. So here's the thing. Creating space is a requirement for change. You can't change without the space to allow new thoughts and new habits and your life to expand. Now, let's stop for a minute. Can you imagine getting your big picture project done without spending the next year trying to finish it? Picture this. If you're in a beautiful clutter-free office and your desk is cleared off and open for business, in a month from now, while working in this clutter-free space, what do you think your life's going to be like? Like, would you feel like you're more in control? Would you do things differently? Would you get more done and spend less time working? I'd say yes. Now, what's your spouse or partner going to say? What are your kids going to think when all of a sudden you're free on weekends because you can play? Pretty exciting, right? The one thing I know to be true is that clutter, and I like to call it muck, my first book, How to Master Your Muck, is a powerful saboteur of creative expression. When you're surrounded by too much stuff, you can't bring your unique gifts to the world, right? You just can't do it. Now, we talked about wasted time and wasted money. Let's talk about energy. Here's something to consider. The less piles you have, the more energy you'll create. Piles can zap your energy, your time, and your wallet. Simply put, a pile is a constant reminder of things left undone. Now, every pile in your life, listen to this, every pile in your life is there because you didn't make a decision about it. You either procrastinated, you knew what to do, you knew where to put it, but you just didn't do it. You avoided it. People came over, this happens all the time, and you shoved it into a closet or a drawer. Anybody have one of those? Anybody have a closet or a drawer full of stuff you stuffed in? Or you simply ignored it and it continued to grow larger and larger and larger. So listen, the fewer piles cluttering up your life, the more time you're going to have, and you'll end up with more energy, more freedom, less money wasted, like my client, Sharon. I'm going to talk to you about Sharon for a minute. She called me a few years back to say, as she said, reclaim her life. She had spent a great deal of money on a new, beautiful home on a golf course. And for 2 years, she had not played golf, right? Why? Because she felt guilty playing anything when she had all these unresolved decisions around her decluttering up her life. She'd spent the first year and the second year in her new home in guilt, trying to get organized because she felt like her life was out of control. She had the never-ending task of sorting through the piles inside her home, trying to eliminate her storage unit. She had no idea how to keep going or even the best way to begin, right? Remember the 7-layer cake of disorganization? Yeah, that's what I see with clients that I mentioned in the beginning. It's a 7-layer cake. She was the poster child for this, right? And here's the thing. She's smart. She's savvy. She was motivated. She just couldn't see the easiest way to move forward on her own. You see, she had spent time moving into her new home, but she never spent time downsizing before she moved, right? A big and long-lasting mistake that kept her as a prisoner in her home for the past 2 years is she didn't downsize before she moved. Now, I know a lot of you people are in transition, so listen to that carefully and make sure you do that. So here's the thing. We worked together and she was able to let go of her old holiday decor, excess clothes, inherited dish sets that she didn't even use, old kids' toys, and more. And by using the 3 questions, do I need it? Do I use it? Do I love it? She decided right then and there to embrace her new life in her new home. She needed to eliminate her storage unit. Get rid of her holiday decor, get rid of all the stuff that she didn't need. And most importantly, get rid of her guilt, right? She now uses her time and money doing what she originally intended to do when she bought that beautiful home on the golf course. She plays golf. In fact, I never see her. What I do see is her on Facebook shooting pictures of herself having fun on the golf course and having brunches with her girlfriends. Yeah, I love that. Love, 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 love. Now, as a side note, just like my client and many other clients I've helped over the years, if you have a storage unit, get rid of it, okay? It's simply money washing down the drain and out of your bank account every single month. And I guarantee you, after 20 years, the stuff in your storage unit does not have the value of what you've been paying to store it. I know this to be true. This is my client on the right. This is his storage unit, and that's his after storage unit. Yeah, success. Yeah, Keisha, I know. It happens. You know, we feel guilty having fun when we have all this unfinished stuff happening. Like, so it's normal, Keisha, but what you want to do is take care of your life and your business and declutter, then you can actually go out and have some fun. I want that for you, Keisha. That's very important. Okay, so as we wind down, I want you to understand that getting organized is a journey. Okay, it's not a destination. It takes time and efforts to develop systems and create new habits. Be patient with yourself as you work towards greater organization and productivity. One of my clients, the author Michael Gerber of the E-Myth, said it this way: every minute you spend organizing saves you 10 minutes in execution. 1 minute equals 10 minutes. Remember this: it might seem intimidating to begin getting organized, but I promise you this: you give me an hour, I'll give you 10 back. Guaranteed. So type yes in chat if you've heard of the Pareto principle. Anybody heard that? In 1906, there was this Italian economist, Vilfredo Pareto. And one day he was strolling through his garden and he noticed that 20% of the pea plants in his garden produce 80% of the peas. Now, businesses often find that roughly 20% of their customers brought in 20% of their sales. This also applies to clutter, okay? We typically only wear 20% of the clothes we own. We only use 20% of the tools that we purchase, so on and so on and so forth. So I want you to start 80-20 in your life as you go through this process, okay? Eliminate all that extra stuff, that 80% that's lying around not helping you at all. Now, if you don't take time for decluttering, your possessions will possess you, okay? Just like some of you said in chat, you know, you're not doing things, you're not doing what you want to do because you're stopped. So your possessions are commencing you, and you don't have time for fun and family, and you'll be weighed down by the things left undone. Now, I want to help you get to your big picture dreams. And due to popular demand, I've created a checklist to support you and help you keep momentum, okay? Being productive and making decisions is the key to taking control of your life. And while I've spent a lot of time together, I haven't had a lot of time. It's only 30 minutes, right? So I've given you this download. You can, the QR code is right here. You can scan it, or the link will be in chat, okay? And it's your free productivity toolkit. What I've done is I've compiled my favorite 6 strategies to boost your success and become more productive. You'll be able to stop spinning your wheels and escape the feeling of constant busy work, right? Without making progress. Sound familiar? You'll also find really good strategies to focus your energy and achieve more in less time. Now, you can achieve the success you deserve when you learn, this is the thing. I put in my 6 strategies. I know you're not going to do all 6. If you choose one and you follow through on it, you will get more success and you will become more productive, okay? So it's your chance to say goodbye to burnout and reclaim your time and your energy. So go ahead and download the gift. And guess what? I have a really limited schedule, but I've opened up my calendar for 6 of you, the first 6 who take this download, to get a free session with me. It's valued at $497, and it's for 30 minutes. And I'm going to show you the fastest way to get to where you want to go and where you need to start in order to get your life in order and organized, okay? So go ahead and jump in. The first 6 are going to have that opportunity to grab a session, and I'm going to give you personalized support, right? And you'll be able to, in 30 minutes, those first 6 are going to be able to laser focus on the most important thing you should be doing right now to make more money with less stress, to get more done with less and less time, so on and so forth, right? Everything I've been talking about. So I'm really busy, so I only have 6 slots and I apologize. So click on the link fast to get secure your session. So I know we're right at the hour. I want to thank you for your time. I want to honor your time because guess what? You have given me 30 minutes of your life, and I do not take that for granted. I am humbled that you've spent time with me in this half hour, and I'm extremely excited that American Family Insurance has invited me to be here. And I really appreciate you, and I really appreciate all of you for being here. And yeah, I have lots of suggestions for email, Kristen, but you know what? We're out of time, so I'm going to hand it back over to Jenna.
Right. Thank you so much, Kathi. This was wonderful. There were some questions in the chat. So I think, would it be okay if people reach out to you through your website, to get their questions answered if they have it?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay,
You could,
perfect.
yeah, you'll see a contact form on my organizedandenergized.com website. Feel free to
Wonderful.
reach out. Hopefully the 6 of you who really have those burning questions have grabbed that free session. You'll get 30 minutes from me. So go ahead,
Perfect.
bare minimum, download the productivity checklist. And I hope to see each of you next quarter.
All right. Well, thanks again, Kathi. This was really wonderful. I'm moving this weekend. So, I took all these tips for myself while I'm packing tonight and tomorrow furiously just so I can go into the new house, feeling organized and good energy and, ready to start off this year. But again, thank you so much for sharing your time and insights with us today. And to all who joined us for this session, thank you for being here. You can learn more about DreamBank's free upcoming programming at amfam.com/DreamBank and by connecting with us on our social channels. And if you're interested in revisiting this event or exploring past ones, our YouTube channel is the place to be. On behalf of the American Family Insurance DreamBank, we look forward to hosting you again soon. Until then, keep dreaming fearlessly. Thank you.
Thank you.